Welcome again to the Talking Pictures podcast with hosts Tony Toscano, Cici Chambers, and Raquel Baldwin-Horton.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Talking Pictures podcast. We're having a great time here because we are thinking about Thanksgiving
and cheese.
And cheese. Cheese plates.
Yeah, cheese plates.
Cheese plates. And part of our Thanksgiving dinner here is Cici Chambers, who is the cranberry in our dinner.
You're saying I'm tart?
Yeah, I think you are.
Come in a can, too.
Chance LaPree is here. He's the giblets.
Turducken.
The giblets. And Kurt Bestor is here, who is the stuffing.
The stuffing. I knew you were going to go with that stuffing because
I was thinking more of the cat food jello.
And I'm the turkey. And today we're going to be talking about some of those movies that we watch traditionally during the Thanksgiving holiday. And I want to start off with the Thanksgiving movie. It has to be Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, it's so good.
Wow, you know, it has survived as one of not only a great comedy, but just an endearing film for Thanksgiving.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
John Candy.
Well, absolutely, and I immediately go to the pillow.
Oh yeah.
That's it. But you know, why is that a Thanksgiving movie? Because he was going home for Thanksgiving, right?
Well, yeah, that was the basis. He had this dinner waiting for him.
It's essentially why Die Hard's a Christmas movie. It's the
It's
same principle.
Hello,
Yeah.
favorite movie.
It's basically Jaws for Thanksgiving, with Candy being the shark. But there are so many moments in this movie that are iconic. You know, the shower curtain scenes and all of that. But does anybody remember who is at the beginning of this movie? The fight for the cab. What famous actor is in that scene?
Christopher Walken.
Almost.
I just guessed that, but you know.
I had no idea. Can't remember.
No? Okay, well, he's married to Kira Sedgwick. Ding, ding, ding. It's Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon fights Steve Martin for the cab, and as Steve Martin's he wins the cab race, but trips over the suitcase that John Candy led.
New game. We have to tie all movies to Kevin Bacon.
Everyone's
7 degrees of movies.
Everyone's 2 degrees away from Kevin Bacon.
We've moved it up.
There's a website dedicated to this.
Well,
2
we all
degrees.
know Tony, who knows Kevin Bacon. So.
That's one. I'm dead
Yeah.
serious.
And I have actually played music with Kevin Bacon and his brother.
His
And
brother, they
thanks
got a
to them,
great
we are
band.
2 degrees away from Kevin Bacon.
I haven't bathed since that time, so
Well,
feel it.
being that we're all, I'm not going to say we're all, but you and I are family guys.
yeah, that's right.
What
watch
traditions?
Family Guy.
What traditions for Thanksgiving have you
Hi.
brought to your family?
The hardest part for me is my wife is from Kenya, and they don't really celebrate Thanksgiving because
They have nothing
the
to be thankful
pilgrims
for.
didn't land there. So for me, but I do have So I do have my mother's crappy Thanksgiving food.
Really?
And I know that people have all sorts of wonderful food. I appreciate the fact that their food tastes good. My mom's food is terrible, but I don't want to change it.
It's tradition.
It's like there's a thing that everybody says at dinner table. It's like the mantra for our Thanksgiving. It's like, pass the gravy. Because my mom, she won't bake the turkey like, you know, Emeril or some of these people tell you now. Like you're supposed to put it upside down, or you're supposed to cover it with brine, or you fry it.
Right.
My mom puts it in the thing. She uses that little thermometer that comes with it, which totally doesn't work.
Pop-up.
They never work.
And she goes, "Oh, Kurt, I think that the thing came out about a half hour ago, but I just want to make sure that we don't get sick, so I let it cook another half hour." And anyway, this is a weird.
So it's like Christmas Vacation. You cut it and it goes.
It does. It totally does. But the weird thing, what I'm saying by this long diatribe is that I love my mother. I love that our tradition is crappy food.
Wonderful.
That is awesome.
You have crappy appetizers too?
We don't have appetizers. We are from Wisconsin, where we have
Cheese flows
We
like
have
water.
we have cheeses of the world plate that my mom starts with, but it's really just Velveeta and Velveeta loaf with some pimentos in it.
I did that documentary on the dairy products of Israel, and I want you to score it. The film is called Cheeses of Nazareth. So, there you go.
That's a
Strong
pun
with this
that
one.
You can use
that
that.
I will actually laugh
Popular amongst crackers.
Yeah.
at. Anyway, no, food
Catholics.
is. Yeah. What about you?
You're coming over to my house because I'm Cece's been over my house for Thanksgiving.
My family is Tony's family
Yeah.
because I don't have family, so I
So
go
what?
to
What?
his
So
house.
what?
So
would
I
be
do
the-
I do two turkeys. I mean,
Two
I do
turkeys.
one on the grill.
And one sits at the table and tells jokes.
Yeah, boom. And I also do a traditional sage and rosemary.
Oh, yeah.
And orange turkey.
Do you put the stuffing inside?
No,
Because I've heard that's not good.
that's not
It's
good.
not good.
My mother does that.
Yeah, but
So it's-
all my daughters cook, and so
Yeah.
we have all these wonderful appetizers. Almost too much.
Is it Italianish?
Not really, but there are some things like we do a sausage, Italian sausage and mushroom stuffed thing
Sure.
that we hand out.
And you do the dolmas,
and
the
shrimp.
bacon.
That's
wrapped
what the
dolmas.
pilgrims and the
Yeah.
Indians had.
shrimp cocktail.
So
and
was
all
it
that.
Italian in the regards that there's a crap ton of food?
There's a crap ton of food.
Oh my
And
God,
then
yeah.
everybody for some reason, there's a queue from somewhere, and we all argue.
We should talk about dressing because I think dressing is always very controversial. My mom's dressing is terrible, but I have people that say, "Oh yes, we put this in, we put raisins in, we do
Right.
that," and it's always and nobody ever really eats it. You take a bit, but
Yeah.
I imagine
Mine, this is the only thing I can cook because I burn water. And
Dressing.
yeah, I make a cornbread Frito stuffing that is to die for, and the bowl is emptied every single time.
Really?
Yes.
Both of them.
Yes.
Cornbread Fritos.
Yeah.
Right?
Cornbread and Frito stuffing.
I see a sponsor coming.
Now, my father used to make an
Frito-Lay.
oyster stuffing that was really
Really?
great.
Really?
It was wonderful, but it took a long time, and we live in a very fast age. So, Mrs. Cupboardson's, we have that every so often. But I'm a cranberry freak. I love cranberries.
I do love it.
And I don't like the gelled cranberry that
You like the real?
I like the real cranberry.
Do you make it? Do you make it from?
Yeah. Yeah. See, you got to come over.
I know. Well, thank
Come
you.
over the next day for sandwiches.
Let me see if I'm busy.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Oh, my mom's fixed me Thanksgiving dinner. So.
I was gonna say, is she Mormon?
No, I'm sorry. She wasn't. She is. So, but she never was raised with all the around in Utah. They do lots of Mormon-y things. So you got
Beige
Jello.
on beige and beige and beige.
You got Jello
Yeah.
for one, which was
with,
Jello,
carrot shavings in it.
carrot shavings, and
Raisins.
and then you've got the other Mormon Utah thing is the yams with the marshmallows.
Yep.
It's like it's,
Diabetics.
I was gonna
wonderland.
say
Yeah.
it is
See-
so sweet.
See, I make my yams with walnuts.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah, and
Will you bring that to Tony's house when I come over?
yeah, with my ex-husband, we used to his family is everyone does beige gravy, beige potatoes, beige.
When you were
turkey.
saying beige, I didn't know what you were talking
No,
about.
like
Beige.
everything on the thing is beige. The carrots have lost all their color. It's in that beige tonal.
Is your
valley.
turkey beige?
The turkey's beige.
'Cause that
Everything's
doesn't sound
beige. and
And now we'll
Kurt's
sing.
mother would've left
We'll
it in
sing
for
hymn
another
number
half hour.
641. Is your turkey beige?
yeah, and so I was kind of snotty, and I threw a Thanksgiving, and I can actually cook when I put my mind to it. It's everyday cooking that I can. But I threw I had 20 dishes. Everything was a different color, and it was great.
We have a lot of color in our table.
Yes.
You've been
No, there's not. Everybody's still white.
there. No, I'm at the table. The food.
Yeah, I know the food
There's-
is delicious.
We were talking about movies before. and
Yeah.
Movies that are about Thanksgiving. Is there a traditional movie besides Planes and Trains that you guys watch at your house? Like, okay, we're done eating, and you're not into the Dallas Cowboys.
Alone.
So Home Alone. Well,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
For us, it's always been A League of Their Own.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, my dad, he's a huge fan of that film. It
There's
makes
no
me,
crying in baseball.
and you look like a penis. It's a great movie.
Wow.
And my dad, he loves it. He cries every time he gets to the end.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like this heartfelt tradition of Thanksgiving for us to watch A League of Their Own.
Your dad's a secret feminist. I like that.
He
We
is.
watch a movie at my house, and it's the kids don't, but the parents do. We get together, we watch On Golden Pond. And that's it's always been one of my
It
favorite.
goes with your dinner.
What kind of? No, well, it's a,
And the beige
I don't
novels.
know.
No, it's a great movie.
It's a great movie, actually, and was the movie that kind of started my music career.
Henry
Because
Fonda's last film.
David Grusin wrote the music, and I actually started writing music because of that. But yeah, it was. I don't know why. In my family, that's balloons.
The day after Thanksgiving, I start my Christmas movie watching,
Yeah.
and I watch every version of A Christmas Carol ever done.
Really?
in those weeks.
Favorite one?
Well, I have a couple. My favorite one is
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Well, I love the Muppet and Scrooge and all that, but the one with Alastair Sim, the 1930s version, is the one that I watched last.
Who's the guy with the screw face? Famous English actor that
is in that movie?
Yeah, he plays Scrooge, and his mouth is like.
That's Gene Lockhart.
No, different one.
Well, Alastair Sim is Scrooge.
No, I'll think of it. I hate when I can't. I ask
I'll
a question.
look it up.
To the internet.
But Henry Winkler did one called The American Christmas Carol,
yes.
and then there was one with Marlo Thomas where she played. Yeah. It's a.
I like the real traditional type ones.
Really?
I actually scored a movie once that was interesting. It was called The Ghost of Dickens Past.
Yes, that was through Feature Films for Families.
Feature Films for Families, and I scored that one, and actually was not embarrassed by it, to be honest. It was kind of dark.
It was well filmed.
But I enjoyed doing that score because you learned the story behind the story, and that was very interesting.
Now, do you think that Thanksgiving is the overlooked holiday? Do we just tend to forget it?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And I'll tell you, it as a guy that makes a lot of my money off of Christmas, I put the curtain Christmas. Sorry.
It's an anagram.
I love Thanksgiving because it's just chill. And when you're in Utah, we've got the seasons and if it's it's just I'm not in any hurry to get into Christmas.
Why don't you write some Thanksgiving songs? Because
Thanksgiving music sucks. Sing me a Thanksgiving song right now.
The old beige turkey.
No, that's what I'm saying. There are no Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but I mean,
Where was like a pilgrim song in elementary school?
They're all garbage.
All right, I need enough for an album. Now the point that 'tis a gift to be simple.
We get out the primary song.
The biggest problem with Thanksgiving is that it has no place in pop culture.
Well,
It has no face. It has no place.
No,
it has no.
that's not true. That's not
Giving
true.
thanks?
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
That's not pop culture.
It's in Ghostbusters.
It's a. That's not pop culture anymore.
Yes, it is.
And the millennial goes crazy at the table. No, so
it's
what?
a thing.
But I know. But but you're right. From a marketing standpoint,
Right.
You're right. The world rotates around that. However, is there a place?
Yes.
Is there
Yes,
a place
I think
for? Is
there
there a
is.
place for us
at
to?
the table for
It would-
Thanksgiving?
But see, what it would take is it would take another movie like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles to like kind of revitalize the feeling of Thanksgiving, because right now we live in a world that's like we need so much aesthetic pleasure.
Right. And it
That-
can only last
yeah,
15
but
seconds.
what
'cause
about
that's my
the
attention span.
day after Thanksgiving? All of a sudden, I'm treated to 1 million hours of Christmas music on
Are you
this-
kidding? I heard that
Before that.
Yeah, I heard that
Oh,
yesterday.
Please.
Well, now they're opening the stores. This is controversy. They're opening the stores on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
saying,
because
"Hey, sorry,
you've eaten, come out.
Walmart employee, you've got to go to work."
Right.
Yeah, and I think we need a day to rest before Christmas. The idea of Black Friday, sounded good, but I don't think we should be doing that.
It's never what I expect.
I do not do that on ID. I've never waited in line at Best Buy.
He goes
Because
to
you're
the
a
front.
star.
I'm Kurt Bestor.
I'm Kurt Bestor.
know.
I come to Best Buy because
because-
my last name is Bestor.
Kurt Bestor.
I want to
Which
go
is
back
an
to
anagram.
I want to go back to Chance's thing. We're probably over time here, but it's an interesting topic. You say that there's the pop culture demands something to make Thanksgiving. I think that Thanksgiving is the anti-pop culture, and yet, so I don't want to pop it up. I want to keep it, kind of like let's all listen to the radio or something.
Right.
But maybe that's the point. It's going extinct.
Let's see what Chance has to say about that after this break. Are you gonna bring us back?
Yeah,
Just start ranting.
No, have Kurt bring us back in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hold on. 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, we are back around the table here with a group of my best friends in all the world, and we're talking pictures.
Yeah, thanks. I'm Tony Toscano.
Chancellor Prey.
Cici Chambers.
And before we left, we were bringing up the hot topic of Thanksgiving, and those of us that have seen many more Thanksgivings.
I believe in hearth and home.
hearth and home.
Yeah.
And
It
yet
goes like this.
And yeah,
Which is, by the way, Kurt and I are
Hearth
opening
and
up a
Home.
series of department stores called Hearth and Home.
Hearth and Home.
Yeah.
However, the angry millennial at the table has reminded us that hey, it's not, nobody
It's
wants
nothing for me.
What's smartphony? What can I look on my smartphone about Thanksgiving?
Nobody
For
wants to celebrate that
Yeah,
Elmer's
well,
killing the Indians.
Jib Jab does
So, all right,
some
so
really
look,
nice stuff on Thanksgiving.
What would you? Well, that's true. Jib jab is very not
Yeah.
hip anymore. But what? So
back to
here we go.
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We're going to give you Thanksgiving, and you are going to tell us how to make it pop.
Okay, so
Hold on,
if,
before you start. I was doing marketing research on millennials, and they love nostalgia. So your point is moot. Go on.
they don't like traditionalism, they like nostalgia. There's a big difference.
Yeah,
All right. So
They like the idea that something
before
actually
we
meant something.
flush the holiday down the toilet,
Yeah.
you're going to help us resurrect
Okay.
it for 'em.
So if that's the goal, right? If the goal is to bring Thanksgiving back to a point of view where we can appreciate it again,
Right.
because I'm totally down for that, and I'm completely game for it. But because the problem with Thanksgiving currently is that it's sandwiched between two of the biggest mainstream and pop-related
So
holidays.
move it to April.
That would be the best way to pull it off.
Oh Lord.
That's technically where Christmas should be too, but all
The
right.
biggest problem is that Halloween, people build up for Halloween in September, right? And Halloween now, especially since cosplayers and the geek community is such on a high point, costuming and the over effervescence of Halloween itself has taken such a forefront.
I know it's become terrible. The choice between for women to be a sexy kitty or sexy nurse is really, it takes a month.
But
Well,
it's
now
funny.
we have Sailor Moon, sexy Sailor Moon.
It's funny because as a geek, I look at Halloween costumes and think these are garbage. I can't go through a costume aisle without thinking
Dress
that's
as a
cheap,
builder.
that's vinyl, that's when you hang out with cosplayers, it's terrible. But anyway, back to the topic. Then Christmas has been pushed so hard in the last 20 years, or like 30
20.
years.
More than that, yeah.
Right, it's been-
but it's
Couple thousand.
it's reaching a perfect storm.
Right.
Or
It's
imperfect.
especially back beginning of the credit card era, mid 80s,
60s.
right? Well, the mid 80s when
Gimbals
everyone
had a credit card in 32.
when they were using it so hard, even through the 90s,
Yeah.
and they've been pushing Christmas as this, as what it is, really on the forefront of a buying holiday and a very aesthetically pleasing holiday where it's like, oh, there's Christmas everywhere, there should be Christmas cheer. And no one really knows what Christmas cheer is unless you're taught it by your parents. And so Thanksgiving gets sandwiched between these two when you have Halloween that overlaps into November now, and you have Christmas that overlaps into November. It gets lost in the meat of this overindulgent holidays. So the best way to bring Thanksgiving back would be make people perfectly aware that this is a time to rest between those moments and appreciate what you really have. Because Christmas is no longer about the appreciation of family. It's just not. It's a consumer holiday.
So make it a boring as hell day, no parade, no football, just food and family.
No. What I'm saying is you can keep all of that, but the entire goal for Thanksgiving should be just relax for a second.
Except for the woman cooking the dinner.
Wait a minute.
Are you kidding? I cook.
Well, I think your point is exactly right, and the trick is so the marketing is almost anti-marketing.
Yeah.
It's almost like people are saying this is a day where it shuts down.
Are we getting
And
to the
boy,
point
doesn't that feel good?
Are we getting
Right.
to the point where if you celebrate Thanksgiving, you're a cult?
Which the funny part is that as from a millennial marketing standpoint, that would work.
Yeah.
Because the Generation X, Generation Y, and millennials love the idea of doing stuff against the grain.
I got an idea. How about if everybody, we FaceTime live the fireplace, or all we do is take our phone out, and everybody in the world will just FaceTime live your turkey cooking.
That's it.
Or something. Yeah, and then we'll just do it.
If you put together a Unilad video or a Vice video about
Right.
how Thanksgiving is totally underappreciated and people don't understand the true essence of what we're supposed to do. I mean, people will then rant and rave about, it's about the Pilgrims taking over the Indians. We're not worried about that. What we're worried about right now is who's around your table and who you should be appreciating.
See, when you say against grain, as an Xer,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're
I don't
welcome.
get quite so low. My family were my gay friends,
Yeah.
and the oddballs and the punk rockers.
Mhm.
I would cook, and everybody would come together, bring something, and that was our Thanksgiving.
That's it. I mean, because it doesn't matter who your family is, who your friends are. It matters who's around your table at that moment.
So the trick is that because we're in America,
We are.
how do we make money? Who sponsors this?
Yep.
Who sponsors this day of nothingness? And it's probably going to be the food. The food people.
And the food people, but the best way to pitch that would be start pushing Black Friday deals beforehand, and in that marketing say, after your day of rest, come find us for your
So here's what I'm proposing is the day after Halloween should be Black Friday for Thanksgiving.
It should.
That's where you buy your turkey and everything.
Yeah.
Just making it fair.
Yep.
Making it happen.
Then we have all the sponsors behind it. That way they don't have to be open
Well,
on
it is
Thanksgiving.
witching day, so you should be able to pick up all your brews.
Tyson Chicken should come to our rescue on this.
By the way, more the Thanksgiving fact, you know where more turkeys are grown and prepared. I was going to say slaughtered. Prepared. You know where that is?
Kansas.
Moroni, Utah.
Really?
Yes. Moroni. Drive by Moroni, Utah. Take a whiff.
Just take it in.
There's a spot where the ozone is totally non-existent.
on November 22nd, you can't hear yourself think in Moroni because of the noise. On November 25th, there's no noise. It's silent.
So here, everybody at this table,
It's
we
easier if
we
it
need to,
rains.
we need to have some kind of Thanksgiving plan here.
Which would then give you an opportunity to sell your Thanksgiving album.
Oh, you
I'm
can
already doing my
FaceTime
Christmas
Live. You can
album right
play at the table in front of your fire.
Kurt Bestor from the oven.
No, it's a do nothing. Don't see you already don't do it. We want to suck everything.
Cranberries
This is so
and
hip.
Kurt.
Yeah,
we're gonna
it is.
suck. We're
Coming
gonna
up with
suck
the album.
everything out.
Yep.
This is the only day of the year where you do nothing.
Nothing. You don't have to worry about a damn thing.
Then I expect to see your socks.
I'm gonna do it. You're gonna watch I'm gonna FaceTime Live all day long.
Okay.
And it's gonna be right here. You're gonna see cats go by. You're gonna see grandpas walking
I'm gonna get
by.
this text from Kurt. I'm turning it on.
My day of nothing.
His
day of
wife
nothing.
and kids feverishly working, but his feet
Just there.
and then at 4:00, I'll watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
Now you can watch a game. Is there a game on Thanksgiving?
There's
I don't like the game thing. I don't like watching the football game. For me, I'm old enough to have preceded the
Yeah,
football games.
I know.
I use them to sleep.
And it's the tryptophan game, you know.
Right.
And for me, it seems I also feel bad for the football players.
Right.
They don't get to be home doing
Yeah.
nothing. So let's cancel the games.
Just
I
football
don't
plays
feel
over
bad
Thanksgiving.
for anybody making several million dollars.
true.
I'm sorry.
Do you literally unbutton your pant?
Yeah, wear gym shorts all day. What are you talking about?
I dress up for Thanksgiving.
I wear Sandsbelt. You know what those are?
Yeah. Oh God.
Actually, my
They're
family,
the hush puppy of pants.
my family Thanksgiving's crazy. Between my divorced parents, all of them getting remarried, and then they all bringing in grandparents, it's turned into like I have to go to 7 different meals in one day. And so it's like, yeah, I'll spend 45 minutes here and then run there and spend 30 minutes and run over here and spend another hour. And oh, wait, we have to head appetizers over this place. Now we're running back down to Provo so we can
You are a true millennial. Just everything about you. You got that baseball hat on. You got blessed are the geeks, for they have inherited the earth.
That's what we're here for. We can save it.
I've started something with my kids where last year they had Panda Express said they were staying open, and they didn't have enough business. So the time we got there, the door was locked, and but they gave us the rest of the food.
Wow.
They felt sorry for us. So
That's
my
gonna make me cry a little bit.
Here.
Please feed us.
And well, it's the X thing, so it's like whatever. But my son and I sat in the car eating Chinese before I took him to his dad's house because his family was throwing a fit that they weren't eating there, even though it was my Thanksgiving. So I was like, fine, we'll just go eat out. And we went and we had Chinese sitting in the car in the park before I dropped him off. And then I went to Tony's.
You're well
So
enough
if
a little
everybody
bit.
watching, if you'll go to the GoFundMe page for
For
Cici's
Cici.
Thanksgiving.
I think also I'm calling for a no Pinterest Thanksgiving where you.
Is Pinterest still a thing?
Yeah, it is. It's
People-
cooking like
yeah.
recipes.
My daughters go, I found this on Pinterest. It's graham crackers and shrimp.
Which is exactly why I left Pinterest,
Yeah.
because I saw no
No.
place for me
I
there.
use it for memes.
Check out my Pinterest page. It is interesting.
Memes.
This ties into movies and music and everything perfectly. You can use Pinterest by using your SoundCloud, your
That's
Libsyn, whatever.
Yeah.
What's the other one? MySpace that musicians are on now. They took over the MySpace.
MySpace
Yeah.
is still a thing.
For
It
musicians,
came
it is.
back, but
Doesn't Justin Timberlake own MySpace?
Yeah, he
now?
bought it.
yeah, but he came out with this like, hey, we're back, MySpace, and it still sucks.
But if you make a list on each of those, and then you pin the list on Pinterest, what you do is you make a list of what's popular on each of those sites, and then you put your own stuff in it, and then you put that list on Pinterest, tagging the popular
This
people.
is too much work.
No, then they listen to you too and become a fan of you.
Well, they can listen to me all the time, but I'm going to come up. Kurt and I are going to come up with a musical cooking book.
For
And
Thanksgiving.
we'll sing the recipes.
I was
For
thinking like
Thanksgiving.
pop-ups, and the little turkey goes. "Ah!"
Yeah, cut its head off.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. You know, there's not great movies about Thanksgiving. There's not great music about Thanksgiving.
There's 2 million songs about Christmas. 2
I know.
million songs.
And I have arranged probably every one of them
Yeah.
in my life. So it's kind of a sad holiday, but I like where this is going.
Yeah,
you know?
I think we need to bring
I like
Thanksgiving
where
back.
it's the day of nothing.
You know, Easter's also that for me too. I like Easter more than I like Christmas.
4th of July.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if one's not religious, then it's basically the bunny and candy.
It's brunch.
It's a Playboy bunny, and her name is Candy.
And she's hiding in a basket somewhere in my house.
So I have to go
She's
find
hiding
her.
her basket somewhere in your house.
Well, I'll come back. I'll come back when we do a talking pictures around Easter. We'll talk about all the great Easter movies and Easter.
And the Easter songs.
Yeah, because they're so happy.
Forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Wow.
I'm feeling a little cold. Can you hand me
The robe.
The Robe. That's my Easter movies. We could talk about that. But there really aren't a lot of Thanksgiving movies that you can pull from. So traditionally, getting back to the thing that we talked about like 20 minutes ago, was my family, for some reason, started watching gladiator movies.
On Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving, it was like, that's what they would show in L.A., was like Spartacus and you know, things like that. And
That's hilarious.
yeah, so we
What's the reason?
Does Clash of the Titans qualify?
it was on.
Ben-Hur.
Oh, it was on. Yeah.
You know, you grew up back in the
That's
day.
right,
There
they
was
would-
there's nothing online. You had no line. You just what was on
Whatever was
Channel
on TV.
9.
They would show the robe and some of those
Yeah.
things. So Spartacus or what they'd show that because they know we got a family. They don't have anything to do. Let's show the movie.
Let's show a long movie so we can take a break. You don't have. They're usually at the stations eating as well. But yeah, I remember watching like a series of those things all day on Thanksgiving.
There's a bunch of movies out there, and I can't name one of them, but they're movies where people are coming for Thanksgiving, and then they have some drama, and there's.
Aren't those like Hallmark movies now? I mean,
No,
like-
I'm thinking more they're movies with like well-known older stars and younger stars, and they all sit around the table, and you know, there's a couple
well,
that
Gary
are-
Marshall did a few of them.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's up to someone like Cici who directs movies too. You know, we have a
Let's do a Thanksgiving movie.
dearth of
You're on the
Thanksgiving
spot.
movies.
The Talking Pictures podcast is produced by Talking Pictures Productions. Produced by Cici Chambers. Talking Pictures podcast distributed by Geek Factor Radio. Also on SoundCloud, Libsyn, and iTunes. Music and sound effects provided by bensound.com.